A whole new batch of summer 2026 LEGO sets have been revealed for a variety of different themes, and there's so many exciting ones. We're finally getting a LEGO MEGATRON set, which releases June 1st, but no, instead of it being one of the large-scale Icons ones, it's a Brickheads, which is kind of weird. Like, yeah, why don't we have a large-scale Icons one? People thought it was because Megatron transforms into a gun and into a tank in its most popular iterations. A lot of these are G1, so that would have called for the gun design, and LEGO doesn't want to sell a gun to kids. Well, they went with the tank here, which LEGO is against making military vehicles. Not that they haven't made cartoony tanks before. The tank here, they didn't want a name on the box, and they just call it the Megatron vehicle. You look at the other boxes for these Brickheads, and they say car, they say truck. But yeah, vehicle. I mean, yeah, they made this one really cartoony and simplified. I get why they didn't want to straight up call it a tank, because it barely qualifies. Still, this looks cartoony enough with the headlights being the eyes. As somebody who doesn't like Brickheads for their Funko Pop-esque designs, there's something distinct about the builds of the Transformers ones that I think they separate themselves from the other Brickheads, in my opinion. I just really want a large-scale Megatron, and now we need a Soundwave Brickheads. I love this print at the front. This one's great too. A lot of people are going to have fun with that print, I think, and making their own custom Megatrons in the meantime of us not getting a large Icon set. If you didn't know, LEGO went as far as to pull a Megatron thing that they released. There was this minifigure factory design of Megatron, and then they pulled it after one day of it being in the minifigure factory. It was almost like they were against releasing a Megatron product, so this is a huge surprise. That releases June 1st for $25. And then we get a look at the next LEGO Sonic Summer 2026 set, releasing August 1st, and it's called Shadow Mech vs. Gun Trooper. This will retail for $50 in the United States with 374 pieces. What's hilarious is when LEGO initially posted this on LEGO Shop, they posted the preliminary version, the non-finalized version of the box. Come on. It had the stamp on it. It had product name example on the box. How is this billion-dollar company making these mistakes? So yeah, that gave us a look at the original version, and the original version actually had knee joints, and it looked a lot sleeker. Though I will admit, this final version, I do actually like the overall look of it better. I just wish this had posability at the knees. It kind of stinks that they opted out to use this piece that I think was introduced with the Ninjago mechs back in the day, which just limits the posability at the knees right there. There is the detachable motorcycle there, which is really fun for Shadow, and they actually have the version of Shadow from Sonic X Shadow Generations, where he's using his Doom powers, and you have like this wing-like design going on there. That is really interesting. That piece, I believe we haven't gone in that specific color before. It looks trans brown, and the closest we got to that is trans black, and I don't think this is trans black. And the version of Shadow is even more exclusive because you have a different facial expression, and I like that expression that we have going on there, since we've only gotten one other Shadow face that was used across two sets. I appreciate that. The build for the mech, though, like I said, I like the general look of this, but this is a completely original creation, and there's so many things you could choose from vehicles to actual locations in the games of Sonic, in the Sonic TV shows, and you make something that's completely original. It's the same crap they did a couple years back with the Knuckles mech, and it's very frustrating. We had such a small breadth of actual content from the games in these sets. Now, there is something else from the game, though, which is the Gun Trooper build. It's pretty simple, but yeah, that's pretty faithful to what it is. Then there's that price of $50. For 374 pieces, it really shows. It is kind of a repeat with the Knuckles Guardian mech, where that was $35 and it had 276 pieces. It looked like something that was a $25 set. This one looks like something that's a $35 set, and now it's $50. The other LEGO Sonic set was revealed yesterday, which was the Tornado set, which I actually do like. That is from the games. But between these two sets being the only summer releases, we aren't getting any new characters for the summer wave, which is another frustrating thing that they continue to do. There's so many heroes that we get in the world of Sonic, and they keep giving us the same heroes over and over again. I'm not saying we shouldn't have gotten Shadow again. I'm not saying we shouldn't have gotten Tails again, but throw in a character that hasn't appeared in sets in a set like this, you know, especially if you're already making up a totally original thing for the selling point of the set being the mech. Okay, well, there are new characters for like robots that aren't super memorable in my opinion, like Sorry Egg Chaser and the little gun mech. I'm talking about, I want heroes, dang it. Give us Big the Cat. Alright, Sonic rant over. The LEGO Sega Genesis set was officially revealed, which this is something I was a little bit worried about because this is going to be $40 and the leak was true in that regard. And this has 479 pieces, and that is a lot cheaper than the LEGO Nintendo Entertainment System set, which is $270, or the LEGO Atari set, which was $240. But on the other hand, I like when LEGO releases cheap sets when those sets were so expensive. This is a console option that's affordable. Then again, that high piece count and price was really for the TV of the NES. The NES console itself was pretty dang small. So this is actually to scale with the NES, I think. They're both downsized in a way. And the outcome, well, it's interesting. I don't think it's terrible. It actually came out better than I expected, but there are some parts I don't like. Okay, so what we have here is a build for the original model of the Sega Genesis. And just like that Sega Genesis controller promo, you can swap out the design to make this the UK Mega Drive, with the gray buttons taking the place of the red buttons. But what I'm noticing here is that they don't really have the Japanese version as a design. Like, you could kind of make it by swapping the red part of the Genesis US version with the Mega Drive UK version 16-bit logo, but that would still leave the 16-bit logo smaller than it should be. And also, it wouldn't have the specific text in the corner that has, like, Mega Drive, like, stylized a little bit more than the UK Mega Drive. So, yeah, I guess Japan really got the short end of the stick here. But yeah, I would have preferred if they were prints either way. I like that they give you extra pieces so that you could swap them whenever you want instead of having to choose right when you first build it. I love the little cartridge of Sonic 2. That's just an adorable design. So it seems like they didn't want to include an extra sticker to make this a Mega Drive or a Genesis version of the cart, so they just put Sega there. I do wish that was a print, but then I'm like, well, I guess the real cartridge would have a sticker too, so it's not too big of a deal in that regard. We also have controllers, which was something I was worried about because last year we had a giveaway promo that was this Genesis controller, and I was like, oh, if that was a set that was released, I guess they wouldn't include controllers in the set. But no, they still have controllers. These are a lot smaller than that giveaway promo, and that's one of the downsides of the set is that they don't have the swappability of the controllers. So you're always just stuck with the design that looks more like the Mega Drive design, where it doesn't have the big Sega Genesis logo in the middle. In the giveaway promo controller, you could actually swap out the logo to make it Sega Genesis. And yeah, for last year's giveaway promo, there were 3 options, with the Japanese version getting a dedicated swap out. So yeah, you get 2 of them, and unlike the Sega Genesis controller giveaway promo, these can actually hook up into the system. They have brick-built cords, and you can see how those plug in at the ends as well, which is cute. And then the design of this has a removable top, which you could access this picture of Sonic, which is a brick-built mosaic. That's pretty cute. So yeah, this is much better than I thought it would be. It is pretty dang small, but again, I think this is a cheaper option than some of the other retro consoles on the market. Like, even cheaper than the Game Boy, which is what, $60? Yeah, I really like this set, and I can't wait to get it. Now, this is based off of the first model of the Sega Genesis. I grew up with the second model of the Sega Genesis. That was my first console ever. So yeah, but I'm still nostalgic because I love the Sega Genesis as a console. So many great games. The soundboard on there is amazing. I love the music from games, as you can tell. And I find it cool how they have 2 different regions for the boxes as well, where they have a Mega Drive variant and they have a Genesis variant, which even has printing of the shelfware. Like it's an old Sega Genesis / Mega Drive box that your grandma forgot was in their closet for years that they were supposed to give to you. That's a really cute touch. There's 2 new Marvel sets that were revealed, and they're from a totally new property of Iron Man and his awesome friends. Yeah, they're 4+ sets. But hey, minifigures. I love these cartoony minifigures. I mean, exclusive Iron Man. Well, okay, one that's found in these 2 sets, but a new Iron Man design. Kind of similar to the one we got from Spidey and his Amazing Friends. And a new Ultron with a new Ultron helmet, which is adorable. The design of this set is apparently going to be $20, which is a Hulkbuster for juniors. Honestly, not the worst looking thing out there, and $20 isn't the worst price for this. Yeah, it only has 96 pieces. It's not terrible. I like Ultron's flying vehicle. It's like a DJ deck. It's actually an Ultron face with some cool prints. This Loki vs. Team Iron Man set is $50. That's a bad price. I don't think that one's worth it. But hey, you get a Hulkbuster that looks a bit like the design of the Hydra Stomper, and that's for Iron Hulk. Yeah, I called it Hulkbuster, but that could just be bigger mech armor. It's not really specific. Which, that helmet is really cool, where you can see it's like an Iron Man helmet with a little spike at the front. You also get Ironheart's car, which, yeah, Ironheart looks cool with the purple and everything going on there. Same Iron Man from the other set, but Iron Man has a jet. And even like an armor casing, which seemingly has like a cool print on there, since Juniors only does prints. I like that on the little glass. And you also get a juniorized Loki, which has a facial expression with the eyebrows and everything that kind of gives me vibes of a Mighty Micros figure. I actually like the torso there with the gold legs and everything. That's a pretty cool figure. And that cape piece in green is the same one that Doctor Doom uses in the Advent calendar. Honestly, I've been dying to talk about the new Bluey sets. There was a point where my girlfriend was getting me to watch a lot of Bluey. I know, it's a good show though. It's good for kids, and there's definitely some qualities that hold up for adults. And the design of this set I absolutely love. It's $15, and it's called Grannies with Bingo and Bluey. And LEGO went above and beyond and made a completely new piece for Bluey and Bingo's granny outfits, which has this crazy specialized piece for the figures, which takes like the existing Bluey and Bingo headpiece and kind of has this like replication of like the cloth they use to dress up as grannies. It's almost like the Lego Ghost piece, but that would go over a minifigure head, and this just seems to be a mold that just goes onto the actual like neck and like the whole torso and everything, almost like a Lego SpongeBob piece. It's insane, and I love that they went above and beyond just to make that for this one set. You have like their snouts popping out still too. It's a very specialized mold that will probably never be reused again. But yeah, I absolutely love the design of those two figures exclusive to the set that isn't overpriced. It's only $15, which you look at something like those Iron Man sets we looked at earlier, and there was this set which had a couple pieces more and was $20. I love this little golf cart too, which is an awesome small build that has like a nice print at the front. This is something that you could actually fit in like, I don't know, a build for the villages. Yeah, we need a Lego mock of the villages, dang it. There's a little sandcastle build, which we saw that in that one beach set. That's really nothing too interesting, but I mean, it's a fine build. They also have beans, which was from this Grannies episode that they're mimicking here. That's just a great cylinder print that I could put in like a Lego house, you know? Like, yeah, we need a can of beans, dang it. Thank you. Yeah, I dig this set. This is going to be like on the top 10 of my most wanted summer list. Thank you, Lego, for giving us such awesome minifigures and even like that nice little print and a great little golf cart build. Then there's School with Rusty and Bluey, which is $25 and 106 pieces. Yeah, a little bit overpriced there, but I'll give it a pass because I do kind of like the build here, which gives me Fabuland vibes. Like, it's a very Fabuland facade of an interior of a building. You can see the printed panels at the back there, which are exclusive to the set from my understanding. But yeah, this is based off like the early baby episode, which is about like a premature birth, which these are complicated things that Bluey kind of teaches in a very natural way. Like, it's a great show for kids, I think. And we get Rusty for the first time, which, yeah, uses the existing, you know, Bluey headpiece, but now we get like red and, you know, a new torso and leg print. So that's welcome. It's always great to get new characters for Bluey, and really that's the only new minifigure character in this whole wave. You also got the early baby doll right there, which has like a printed cylinder that's exclusive to the set. You can see they have like the little nursery there with a panel design of the early baby kind of photo. But yeah, there's a nursery section over here with like a bottle and a build for the incubator, a little design of a kitchen too. This is a very cute set, and again, Fabuland vibes from this. Is it overpriced? Sure, should be $20 for juniors prices, but at the end of the day, I like this a lot better than, say, the Iron Man sets, even though those had fun minifigures as well. And then finally, there's a non-4+ Bluey set. Yeah, an actual non-juniors Bluey set. This is a 5+. So this is brick-built Bluey and family. It's 466 pieces, which that's an insane piece count for Bluey. Like the big house set was $70 and had 382 pieces because it was a 4+ set. This is ridiculous though. It's 466 pieces and it's $70 as well. Come on. It's not 4+. You don't really have an excuse for this being so overpriced. This should be $50 at most. Regardless, the brick builds here are pretty fun. I don't know, they almost look a little bit too stumpy at points, like especially the kids with Bluey and Bingo. Bandit and Chili actually do look pretty good if you ask me, like in this brick built form. And it seems like their eyes are actually not stickers or anything like that. They're prints, which they give a lot of different eyes so that you could swap these out and make different expressions, which I really appreciate that. That's really cool. And what's really weird is that you could open up the top of their heads and stick things inside. I don't know, we should be teaching kids to remove the tops of heads. Come on, Lego. I'm kidding. The design here has different items, like you got the long dog, you got a watermelon, you got a xylophone, a campfire, and marshmallows. It's really cute. Again, I just wish that this was like $40 to $50, not freaking $70. What the heck are you thinking, Lego? That's highway robbery. Screw it. We're covering Gabby's Dollhouse. Yeah, you heard me. There's 2 new Gabby Dollhouse sets, and this is a 4+ mini doll line, but there's some interesting pieces. Okay, stick with me before you click off this video. Okay, really, I just want to compare 103 pieces, $15, compared to the Bluey Schoolhouse, which is 106 pieces for $25. Okay, that just makes me really wish that this was a $15 set instead of a $25 set. That this $15 set was $10. Come on, both are 4+. These are subtitled Gabby's Dollhouse Fairylandia, so I guess it's like a new season or something like that. Regardless, the Gabby minifigure of this wave is new, same for both sets, and she has a really interesting new hair piece that I like. I can't wait to see that in other sets. That's a really cool color for it. And I believe that's a new wing piece as well that attaches at the mini doll neck. You get Kitty Fairy again, which comes in a lot of other sets for this theme. I like the little mushroom house here. It's very Trolls coded, you know? Throwback, rest in peace, that theme. Lots of weird colors for like the door right there, the print on the mushroom top. The interior doesn't have much going on. It's actually an interior that is more so Animal Crossing coded. And then there's this coaster set. I'm having more flashbacks to this LEGO Toy Story 4 set. It's just a circular coaster. No. Okay, well, at least this has a little spinny ride in the middle as well. And it is $35 with 137 pieces, which, yeah, that's 4+ prices for you. And it's funny because they just print Cat Fairy on this little panel right here. You don't even get Cat Fairy in this set. That's pretty weird. And yeah, there's like a little side part that also gives me some Trolls vibes. There's also a new design for Kitty Corn, who has appeared in a different color before. These sets are fascinating to me. I'm not going to be buying any of these, but yeah. Anyways, that's a lot of themes. Let me know which was your favorite of the theme reveals. Out of this batch, Bluey. Bluey is my favorite of the bunch, which, yeah, I totally gave this one like a pass, but I love this Granny set. This Granny set was the best set revealed in this whole video. Shout out to the Sega Genesis though, that is pretty cool. And Megatron is something where, yeah, I don't love brickheads, but I like what they did there with the Transformers ones. Subscribe here for more LEGO news and commentary. We got so many themes to cover their summer reveals for. Just stay tuned. Peace out. Bye.